let's record this session. Programmers write code to solve problems. A leap year is a year that has 366 days rather than 365 days. A leap year usually occurs every 4 years' time. A year that is a leap year can be exactly divided by 400, or can be exactly divided by 4, but not exactly divided by 100. So 2000 and so on. The leap years are not leap years. A program is written to accept a year from keyboard and output whether it's a leap year or not. Open Q1A. Okay, let's open Q1A. Okay. There are 3 errors in the code. State the line number and the type of the error. Okay, so if you want to check the errors, you can just run this. And you can see here it's a syntax error. Right, you can actually get it from this, right? The type of error. So the line number is line number 5, right? Line number 5, there's a syntax error. If you have any concerns, let me know. The error type is syntax, right? Syntax error. Then if you correct that error, since they want us to correct the error in the next one, amend the code to correct the errors. So when you're amending, remember to save this separately so that you won't overwrite this. So save as Q1A finished. That's how they want this thing. So it's double equal, right? You need to have double equals, run it again. Okay, there's another syntax error. Okay, what's the syntax error there? Can you pop the syntax error there?
There should be a colon after 0.
Yeah, that's right. That will be a colon right here. Right? Okay, so that's line number 7. That's also syntax error. Okay, corrected. Now it runs. Now we need to check whether there are any runtime errors or logical errors. So that, of course, we can do a bit of testing. 2000, 2012, 2020 are leap years. So 2000. Okay, there you go. Not all arguments converted during the string formatting. Okay, so what's wrong? What's wrong there? Not all arguments are converted during string formatting. That is line number 5 right here. Can you spot the error there? Why is it? You can't divide, no? Because there's no int conversion, right? It's just text. So that's why it's a type error. So in fact, there's another error, type error, on line number 5. That's a data type error, right? Okay, we'll correct that also. So we need to convert this into int. If it is not a number, you can't do it. Okay, 2000 is a leap year. Is that correct? Yeah, 2012. Okay, let's try 2012. It's a leap year. 2020 is a leap year. Right, now let's check for years which are not leap years. 1700. Okay. 1900. Right, you also do it, right? And 2021, not leap year. All right, so I think that's fine. No? Any other errors? Any logical errors? Do you see any logical errors there?
I don't think so. I don't think that.
Yeah, no? Can be exactly divided by 400. So how do you do that? You check the modulus, right? Here modulus 400 equals to 0. That means we are checking whether it is exactly divisible by 400. Else, if it should be exactly divisible by 4, exactly divisible by 4, and exactly divisible by 100. Here modulus 100. Uh-oh, there is no not exactly, yeah, fine, not exactly divisible, so not equal to 0. That's correct. Yeah, so everything is fine. So that's the first question. All right, next one. State the purpose of the arithmetic operator used in line number 5 and line number 7. Oh, we need that now. Line number 5 and line number 7. What is that arithmetic operator? It is used for calculating the modulus, right? Modulus, which is the remainder of division. State the purpose of the arithmetic operator used in line number 5, division. I think it's better to relate it to this particular purpose. Used to check whether the year is exactly. First, you mention what that arithmetic operator is, modulus, and what it does. Remainder finds the remainder of a division, and then the purpose used to check whether the year is exactly divisible by the number. Okay. Say two logical operators used in the code. Two logical operators. Logical operators are, and, or, and not. So what are the logical operators used? Two logical operators. And then not is there. Well, yeah, they have used not here, not equal to. So then of course we have to take this one, because this is not, this is equal, right? So not, the negation is this AND operator, and then this. Let's see whether this would work like this. Equals, and let's try not here. Invalid syntax, no? I don't know. It could be like this, no? No. It will be here. Okay. The leap year divided by, yeah, 2%. Yeah, it works, right? So it's same as this, right? So therefore we need to take this one, this exclamation mark, because that represents the not. Okay, understand?
Yes, sir.
So the two logical operators and then not, but for not they have used the exclamation mark. If you want, you can put not also, right? State two inbuilt subprograms used in the code. Two inbuilt subprograms. In the sense, it can be functions also, subprograms or functions. What are they? Two inbuilt functions or subprograms. We can take print function, we can take input function, and we can take int also, right? So it's int. Since they are functions or program subprograms, you put double brackets, int, then print, and then input. Right, Adashana, good evening. We started it, but I'm recording.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah, I'm recording.
Yes,
You can go through it. Right? So we are going to the
okay.
second one. The general, I think this was somewhat difficult, no? Okay, the general equation of a straight line. I don't know anything about this maths. Okay, but I think you don't really need to know. Have you done this before, maths? This thing?
Yes, sir.
You have done, right? So general equation of a straight line is y equals mx plus c, where m is the gradient of the line and c is the y-intercept. I don't know what that is. It is the most common form of equation of a straight line that is used in geometry. Consider y equals 5x plus 2 as a given equation. State the operands which should be used as variables and constants separately. Right. So what do you think? What are the variables? Here it says user should input gradient and y-intercept. No, you need to know about this, no?
So, sir, the values that change, the variables are y and x, and the values that don't change are 5 and 2. So they're the constant; they don't change. Only x and y changes.
How do you know?
Yeah, because that's like in maths, like the y
Yeah.
and x, there's a range, and 5 and 2, it's just that it's uniform. It'll be the same.
Yeah, that's the thing. No? So that's what I was thinking. Like if this is to be done by a person who doesn't know this in maths, he might even think that this is variable. No, user should it's a use input. Yeah, but still this can be constant, where depending on mx is going to user should input x coordinates. Yeah, x coordinates anyway is going to change. No, x coordinates change, right? And as a
Yes, sir.
result, y will change. If x changes, if any of these changes, y will change. So y is anyway is a variable. So m and c are the constants. Okay. M and C, and since they are constants, you have to display the values. That's what they have looked at in the mark scheme. You can't just put M and C there. You have to put the value there. So here you can see user inputs the gradient M. That's M, no? Gradient is it the other way? Enter the gradient you want to. Is that correct?
No, so that's like so the one that they've given up, the gradient in that is 5.
Yeah, that's
The
right.
equation.
Here they
So
have
this is
put two, right?
another sample
Right.
with a
So we'll take
different
this one, this scenario, right? Because we had to consider this now. So M is going to be 5 constant and 2 is the other constant. Okay. Open Q to be in the coordinator, you must use the structure to write the program. So what you have to do, user should input gradient M and Y intercept. The user should input X coordinates as a range of whole numbers. Store both X and Y coordinates in separate arrays. Print the coordinates in X and Y format. Test your code with data in the sample output. So the sample output is going to be wrong, no? It'll be different, right? If you change the
Yes, sir.
immensity. Yeah. Okay, so shall we do it? Let's do it together. It's okay even if you did it correctly in the exam. Oh, good heavens, nothing is given. Right, prompt and receive input from the user. Okay, so what are the inputs we are going to input? It's M and C, right? So M equals int, are the integers? The integers, no? Int input. You also do it. Enter the gradient you want. So in the exam, you can just duplicate this, right? Without typing again so that you can save time, right? So let's see, we make the capital. Enter the y-intercept. Trace for separate coordinates. Store both x and y coordinates in separate arrays. We have to look at the sample, no? I didn't test these codes, that's why I'm looking at this for the first time, right? Test your code with the data in the sample output. So the x coordinates we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, right? Separate arrays, we have to use separate arrays. So we'll use x coordinates -3, -2. Let me know if I'm doing it wrong. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Is that correct? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Is that correct? Adarshana, Bill?
Yeah, sir, but what I am not sure of is whether if we should ask the user to enter the X coordinate range or if it's already entered.
Yeah, you should input X coordinates as a range of whole numbers. That means, yeah, no. So we should enter a range of, they haven't mentioned how many numbers that we have to enter, right? Enter the
No,
start
sir.
value of X coordinate. Why do you have to give the starting value of X? It's confusing. No, here it says user should input X coordinates as a range of whole numbers, but in the sample output, enter the starting value of X coordinate range. You are entering the starting value.
Yeah. Yes, sir. So like when you enter the start value, so over here they put -3. And then ending value of X coordinate is 4. So it will go from -3 to 4. So it will be -3, -2, -1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4.
And
It'll go
then
up to 4 and it will stop there.
then like in maths, do you take like certain number of values for X, like 10 values or like that?
No, so there is a range. It's from -3 to 4 according, sorry, -3
Right. Okay.
to
Okay.
4.
Okay.
So it will
Right.
display that range for X.
Right. They have given no enter the ending value of X coordinate. No? Right. Okay. So we need those two as well. So let's put something like X start. I'm learning math here. Enter the starting value of X coordinate, and then we get the X end. Okay, right. Then we should have the X array as a blank array, and then we should have a for loop, right? For X value in range, it will start from X start to X n, but since the for loop goes 1 less than that, we should add 1 to that, right? What do you think? All right. Otherwise, it will go 1 less than the X n, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. It will not take this one, right? We need to take that also. If this is -3 and if this is 4, it will go only up to 3, 1 less than the upper boundary. So we have to add 1 there, right? Okay, then what do you have to do? You need to append that value to the X array, right? So X dot append the X value. You append the X value, right? Okay, now let's test it. Without continuing further, we'll test it. Let's print the array. Let's print X. Oh, I overwrote it. Always remember to save it, right, as a separate file. At least keep a backup of those original files. Right, gradient you want. When you're testing, we can test with the sample output. No? So 2, 5, and minus 3 and 4. Are we getting them right? Minus 3, minus 2, minus 1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Correct, right?
Yes, sir. Now we have to get the y value.
Yes, y coordinates. So in order to get the y coordinates, we have to read the values of x there, calculate the y, and put it into another array, right? Y array. So let's do it. Okay, first we'll have the y array defined. Then for again, we can use the x value, the same variable, x value in x. For x value in x, that means each x value in x. So now I can directly access the value using the x value variable without using square brackets, without using the index. What's the equation? Where's the equation? Y equals mx plus k. We can, without storing in y, we can straight away append it. No? So shall we append y dot append, right? Inside the bracket, we'll calculate, right? Let's see. I'm not really sure whether this will work. So it's m x. It's all trial and error, right? So x value is held in x value. This one. Each x value is held in x value now, right? So I need to use this one, right? M multiplied by x value, okay, plus 3. Okay, so each value in x array is held in x value variable here because I used it in a different way. For x value in x, right? Normally what we do is for x in range so and so, then we are using the index. Then we have to use square bracket and use the index to access individual value. If you put this way, we can access the value straight away, one by one. So we take the m value, multiply by x value, which is holding every value in x, adding c to that. Okay. Now let's print y array and see whether we get the results, right? Okay, so the gradient is 2, 5, minus 3, 4. Aha.
We get it in two separate.
Yeah, that's okay. That's what they want, right? That's what they want, right? Store both x and y coordinates in separate arrays. That's right. Okay, but in the next one,
Okay.
we need to see, we need to join those two in the next one, right? So are we getting the correct values? Minus 1, 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, 13. Perfect. Okay.
Okay.
Right. So try this method. This method where you straight away access the value in x. So this was not that difficult, right? Okay, now we have come to the last part. We have got the two arrays. How do you display like that? We need to access both arrays. Do we really need to coordinates for the straight lines? Any idea? How can you do it? Now, the interesting thing is this. In both arrays, the index is the same. So this time, if we can use an index, we will be able to take them both, no? Right? So shall we use a for loop for index in range, right? We have to start with 0, right? 0. And then we have to go up to the length of one of the arrays, right? Because both arrays have the same length, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we can take the length of one of the arrays, right? So len of x, right? I'll be publishing the video, so you go through it and do it again on your own, right? Right. So this will continue from the 0th index to the length -1, right? You know, for loop goes one less than the upper boundary, so that is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Perfect. So it will go from 0 to 7. Now using that index, I can access both the arrays, elements of both arrays, right? Right. So let's print like this. Print, right? We need to print with the bracket, no? We need to print with the bracket. Okay, so bracket, we put a bracket like that, right? And then we need to print the first element of the first array, x array. That is x. Right now, where does the index is stored? Index. Right, this index is controlling the position. Right, so x index, that is going to be x0, that is -3. So we print the bracket and then -3, and then we need to keep a space, right? And then we need to print the y value. So y index. Okay, same index for both. It's the same index. 0, x0 is this, y0 is this. Simple, right? And after that, we need to print another bracket to close bracket. Close bracket. Right, that's it. Okay. Okay, let's see how it looks like. Okay. 2, 5, -3, and 4. Are we getting them right? There's a space appearing, no? That's all right. 3 -1, -3 -1, -2 -1, -1 -1 3 0 5 0 5. I'm looking at the output in the paper. 1 7 2 9 3 11 4 13. Correct, right? Yeah. And there's a comma also, no? There's a comma here.
Yes, sir.
And then a space. Comma and a space. Watch this, right? 2, 5, -3, 4. Why is there so much space? I will remove this. 2, 5, minus 3, 4. Perfect. Okay. Now, how do you take them into one straight line? We need to print that also, coordinates for the straight line. Right. So you can print it here. Print coordinates for the straight line R, right? And then we print those are tilde sign. No? Tilde sign is this one, right? That's the tilde sign. That is shift backquote. Backquote is the key just below escape. Shift backquote. That's tilde, tilde, like that, tilde. Okay, right. So can you tell me how do you take these into one straight line? We'll put another print command here so that it will keep another blank line, right? How do you take this into one straight line? Remember, we use something called end equals double quotes, right? That was used to remove the default default line break of the print command, right? The print command has a default line break now. To remove that, that's why they were printing vertically. To remove that, we can use this end statement, right? After the first parameter of the print command, you put comma end equals double quotes. So it will remove the line break and take these up. When you're taking them up, you can put a comma. So within the double quotes, if you put a comma, it will place a comma after instead of every line break and put them into straight line. Remember that? You guys remember this end equals double quotes?
Yes, I remember it now.
Okay, right. Hopefully, I think that's the end. That's the 2, 5, minus 3, 4. Nice. That's exactly what we wanted, right? Okay. Right. Fine. Done. Understood? Easy, right? Turn on here. But the challenge was to come up with this logical thinking during the exam. We did that within that limited time frame. That's a real challenge, right? But it comes with the experience. So here, if you remember how we did it, we thought of it step by step. That was the method, right? And we went step by step. We went through the instructions in the question, and then we tested. We didn't try to test the whole program at once. We tested step by step. That was the key to get this right. Okay, Adarshana, Binuki, 18 marks for that. I think most of you couldn't finish it, right? Finish it in that, like most of you struggled in that. Okay, so I need to stop there. I will meet you soon, and next week, maybe mostly on 3rd, I might have a physical class. I had a physical class to grade 13s today because we had the staff meeting. Sorry, I couldn't have it to you because of the time limitation, but most probably on 3rd, I will try to have. But make sure that you come to school because I'm going to have classes until you go to the exam, even though the school reopens. Okay. So be ready for that, right? And also,
Okay,
if you look at that resource analysis, you see how alarming that is because we did that today. So let me show you.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah.
Then when school starts, will we be following the normal timetable?
That of course I'm not sure. Maybe, no? But does school start for you also? I mean, in the
Not
sense,
for us, no, sir. I
not for
don't
you,
think
then, huh?
we have
Because you have
school. Yeah.
you have exams, right? But I'll see, like, because I have only grade 10 to do the normal lessons now. Grade 10 to do normal lessons now. So in between, I can get you to do revision work. Right? But you have to be a bit committed there, because see, in gateway, rest of the gateways, there are 23 out of 55 getting more than 5. See the situation in Candy? It's 2, 3, and 4. So you're also here. So we need to seriously think about this and somehow push these fellows towards this side. At least 6 and above. Okay. So this time period is more than enough for that, right? So, okay. So I'll be having online until I mean, as like as and when I get the chance, I'll be having online. Be ready for that. And I'm recording if you are missing it, so you can go through it. But make sure that you do it on your own. That's very important, right? So today, when I had classes with A2, I let them type the code on their own. I forced them to type, and that really worked out. So here also, make sure that you type and practice. That's very important. Okay, then. See you.
Thank you, sir. Bye, sir.
Bye.
Thank you, sir. Bye, sir.